What's going on, everybody? Steve V here with another video. I hope everybody's doing well out there. So in today's video, I'm going to be letting you guys know my 5 most wanted cabinets slash titles that I hope Arcade1Up comes out with in the near future. I'm also going to let you guys know one pinball that I hope that they also come out with, because I would love to have it in my man cave arcade. I'll let you guys know what those 5 titles and one pin are right after this. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well out there, and I really appreciate you guys checking out this video today. So we're going to get right to it right now. We're going to start with number 1. And my number 1 most wanted cabinet slash title that I hope Arcade1Up comes out with in the coming years, and it's probably a lot of people's number 1, it's Donkey Kong. I would love if Arcade1Up was able to make a Donkey Kong cabinet for me to have in my man cave arcade, and for a lot of people to have in their arcades. It's kind of that golden goose that we're all kind of missing from our collection right now. And obviously it would be a huge uphill battle for Arcade1Up to try to partner with Nintendo to get this
cabinet out. Nintendo is not very fond of giving the license to their franchise or even partnering up with anybody to do something with their license. They're very much, this is ours and we're going to do what we want with it. But Arcade1Up has proven me wrong before with some of these cabinets that they've been able to make happen. They've somehow managed to get the license for. NBA Jam. They're going to be doing NFL Blitz. The Turtles, X-Men, Simpsons. Even Miss Pac-Man was a cabinet that I thought they would struggle to get, and they made happen. So I understand Donkey Kong is in a whole other atmosphere here. Like, it's kind of hard to compare it to those cabinets I just mentioned. Other than NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, I mean, I feel like that would be 2 hard cabinets to try to get the license for, but they've done. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they're able to partner up with Nintendo and make this happen. They would obviously have to really nail this cabinet, make the form factor, literally spot on to what the original Donkey Kong form factor was, because Nintendo had a very specific form factor for their cabinets. They would have to have that recessed screen. So obviously they would have to have a really good screen to put into that cabinet, because we wouldn't want any ghosting. You have to be able to see it from any angle. They would probably put the 3 Donkey Kong games on there. Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and Donkey Kong 3. It would just be a cabinet that a lot of us would love to have. And I feel like it would really kind of complete a lot of people's collections, because anybody that was a fan of those 80s classic arcades and classic arcade cabinets, Donkey Kong was a staple and a title that I feel a lot of people would want in their collection. So my second most wanted cabinet that I hope Arcade1Up comes out with sometime in the near future is the NFL Blitz 2000/NBA Jam Showtime Gold Edition Sports Station cabinet. Now this is the ultimate combo cab for any sports fan or just somebody that wants a great sports cabinet in their collection, or if you have a bar or a man cave or whatever you call your game room, this would be the ultimate cabinet to have. Now with Arcade1Up, we've seen them do NBA Jam, so we know, they can partner with NBA and be able to make this happen. We know they're coming out with an NFL Blitz cabinet. We saw the FCC filing, so we know that's something that they could do. They've partnered up with NFL before. So this just seems like the next rung of something they can grab and make happen. To me, this is a cabinet that I would love to have in my collection. I love NBA Jam. I love NFL Blitz. I haven't actually played NBA Jam Showtime, but I've seen videos of it. It looks like a great game. Obviously, NFL Blitz 2000 is also a great game that I have played. So to have a cabinet that has those 2 games, and then I'm assuming they would also put some of the NBA Jam games and some of the older NFL Blitz games. on that cabinet to just have that combo cabinet would be amazing. It would also allow you to consolidate because NBA Jam 4-player cabinet. I'm assuming when they come out with that NFL Blitz, it'll be a 4-player cabinet. So down the line, to have a cabinet that has those two, franchises in one cabinet, you can maybe consolidate, sell NBA Jam, sell NFL Blitz, and then you just have that one cabinet. Or if you want, keep the other two cabinets and you can have the 3 of them in a row. It would just be amazing. For, like I said, any like bar or man cave or she shed, whatever the hell you have. It would just be an awesome cabinet to have, and it's a cabinet that I really want in my collection. So my third most wanted cabinet / title that I would love to have in my man cave arcade is Sega SpiderMan. Now, Sega SpiderMan is one of my favorite beat 'em up games. I just love playing that game. There's a local barcade in my town that has Sega SpiderMan, and whenever I go there, there's 2 cabinets that I go to right away. I start at Turtles in Time, and I'm lucky enough to have that cabinet, but then I go to Sega SpiderMan right after, and that would be a cabinet I would love to have down here as well. It would obviously be a 4-player cabinet, so it's a bigger cabinet. It's harder to find room, especially in my man cave, because my man cave is basically full. But it's just one of those games where I just have such a connection to. I'm a Spider-Man fan. The game itself is so colorful. It has some amazing bad guys in it that you verse. You're picking between 4 different characters. With Sega Spider-Man, I'm not really sure what they could pair with that game because, a lot of these other Marvel games are owned by different companies. But because it is under the Disney bandwagon, maybe they would be able to make something happen and get some other games on that cabinet. Or maybe it might just have to be Sega Spider-Man. I'm not really sure how they could do it, but it is a cabinet that I would love for them to do because it's such a great game, and it's a game that I think would sell well because, again, everybody knows Spider-Man, and it's just a really fun game to play. So the 4th cabinet or title that I would love to see Arcade1Up make sometime in the near future is WWF Wrestle Fest. Now, I know this is a dream that's probably never going to come true, and even if it did come true, I don't think we would be getting the exact game that we remember playing when we were kids. Now, first off, WWF is no longer. It is now called WWE. So they would have to go in there and change all the logos, and change some of the script. So basically, right then and there, you're not getting what you used to remember. But that's a small little thing. I might be able to live with that. But then the other issue is the licenses for the wrestlers. Some of those wrestlers are not part of the company anymore. Some have bad blood with the company, or maybe even passed away. So I think to try to get all those licenses of all those wrestlers that were in the WWF WrestleFest game, it would just be a nightmare. And what we would end up getting from Arcade1Up and WWE, if they were to partner up to give us some type of WrestleFest cabinet, it'd probably be a shell of its former self. It would not be the game that we remember playing back in the day. So even though I have this on my list and would love to have a WWF WrestleFest in my collection, I know if it were to happen, it would not be what I remember playing. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's something that I want, but what I would probably get from Arcade1Up and WWE would not be what I remember playing. So it's a tough one, but if they were to make the original cabinet, which I know would never happen, but if they were to do it, I would love to have that in my man cave arcade. So the 5th title and cabinet that I hope Arcade1Up comes out with sometime in the future is Daytona USA. Now, Daytona USA is probably the most requested driving cab amongst the community, and it's a cabinet that I really enjoy playing and would love to have in my man cave arcade. Now, with Daytona USA, hopefully by the time they decide to do that cabinet, if they ever do make it, they'll have the whole connected experience all figured out. And what I mean by that is you should be able to play against each other. Right now, with Ridge Racer, you have the Wi-Fi, but you're only getting the leaderboards. what they need to do with Daytona USA is you need to actually be able to play against each other. Because if they do that, people might even buy 2 cabinets, have them side by side, so that way you can see each other versus each other, just like you would play an actual driving cab in an arcade. Also, I feel like it would probably have to be a Pro Line cabinet, because they would really have to invest some money to make this cabinet the best it could possibly be. It would have to have a bigger screen. Obviously, the controls would have to be like spot on, so you could really play it comfortably. You know, the pedals would have to be a high quality pedal. They already do pretty good with the steering wheel. The clutch, you know, it's pretty good on Ridge Racer, but maybe they can make it a little bit better. You would have to have a better sitting experience. The stools that they're making right now for their driving cabs are not the greatest. I mean, I had Outrun. You're sitting on that stool within 10 to 15 minutes. Your back's killing you. Also, it just made it look more like a toy. That's why this would have to be a Pro Line cab. It needs to look like an actual chair, and it needs to look like it connects to the cabinet properly, so it looks like an actual arcade machine and not a toy. I just feel like this cabinet would sell really well. It would be something that a lot of people would want. And like I said, maybe people would even buy 2 to have them beside each other, if you could actually verse each other and be able to see that going on, because it would just make it look like it was an actual arcade cabinet and that they were meant to be together. Maybe you could even attach them somehow. Hopefully Arcade1Up makes it happen, because it would sell really well, and I know I would want one. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is the pinball machine that I was saying I hope Arcade1Up will make. And this pinball machine is done by a company called Stern. And Arcade1Up has not partnered up with Stern yet, but hopefully in the near future, that will be something that they do. And if they do, I definitely feel they should make this particular pinball machine. And that's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pinball machine. This thing is beautiful. I actually got to see one in person. There's a local pizza place called Gino's that ended up having one. I was shocked. I went to go pick up some pizzas for a party my family was doing, and I saw it in the corner, and I couldn't believe that they had one. So, of course, I had to play it, and it was such a fun experience. Number one, this cabinet looks beautiful. It's based off the Turtles that I grew up watching. You know, it has that classic late 80s, early 90s Ninja Turtle vibe. The actual gameplay is fun. You know, there's a little pizza in the middle that spins. The figures inside are awesome. It was just a very good looking machine and a very fun machine to play. And obviously with the 2 Ninja Turtle cabinets that Arcade1Up has already done, obviously they can get the Ninja Turtle license from Nickelodeon. So it would just be partnering up with Stern to make this happen. I don't know what other games they could put on that pinball machine. It might just be a 1-game pinball machine. Stern has a lot of great licenses, but I just don't know how they would work out being on that Turtles pinball machine. So like I said, it might just be a 1-game pinball machine, but it would be worth it. It's such a beautiful looking cabinet, and a cabinet that a lot of people would enjoy playing. And it would be a cabinet that I would love to have in my man cave arcade. So thanks again for checking out the video, you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my list of the 5 games and cabinets and the 1 pinball machine that I would love to see Arcade1Up make. I would love to hear your guys' wish list for different cabinets and you know, pinball machines and stuff like that you would love to see Arcade1Up make. You know, we all have a wish list. You guys got to hear mine, so I would love to hear yours. Feel free to throw it in the comments. Thanks again for checking out the video and for all the support. I'll see you guys on the next one, and have a great day.